Hey guys, it's Ian of Pieced Together Cosplay here, and today we're doing 20 questions with Pieced Together Cosplay. The past few months I've been accumulating the questions that you guys have been asking me on my Facebook page, and today we're going to answer them. So here in the hat, the Tim Sale hat, yes, there it is. I love the puzzle piece. It's all about the details. Are your questions in here, and I've seen the questions, but I haven't put that much thought into answering them yet, so we're just going to get started, and if I stumble or whatever, well, sorry about that. Okay, so the first one is, everyone asks, why the Riddler? Okay. I have been a Riddler fan since as long as I can remember. I remember being 4 years old and having the Mego style action figure, watching the Super Friends, the reruns of the Batman 60s TV show, and just such an intriguing character. And as I got older, I really began to appreciate that within the Batman universe that they're all human, and that's what makes their actions either far more evil or far more heroic. With the Riddler specifically, he's not so much a fighter. He's much more about his brain power, and I've just always been intrigued by that kind of smart, sassy wit. He's got such great style, and I mean, come on, it's the Riddler. What's not to love about him? So, moving on, we have a question from Amelia Nashton, and she asked, Edward Nigma with an I or a Y, and what do you prefer? I like to spell Eddie Nigma's name with a Y, because Y is a question, and that just seems far more appropriate to me. Okay, moving on. The hot nerd girl, hello. She asks, how long does it take to make one of your Riddler suits? And for Riddler suit, depending on the detail that I'm putting into it, but like my first classic suit and my Tim Sale suit, they took just about 4 months to design and construct. There's a lot of little details in there on the lining and things, and suits are hard. So, in making them, you know, just custom to scratch is, that's interesting. So, they take a while, but they're fun, and I love them. To me, they're worth it. Kevin Edwards asks, have you ever had any Batman cosplayers of young or old age pretend to put the Riddler in his place by doing some awesome battle poses? I have this all the time, which is fun. A lot of the times the heroes come up and they want me to have captured them, and that's always fun, but every now and again there's some heroic DC person that wants to like punch me out, and it's all in good fun, so hey, why not? I have a theory that Riddler is, in the Rogues Gallery, the one who takes a punch the best, from his upbringing, which was not very nice. He had a mean dad, but I think the Riddler takes a hit better than any of the other villains, and he's pretty cool like that too. Okay, moving on. Billy Ray. What comic or TV show episode inspired you to cosplay the Riddler, and why did it? Oh gosh, from what I said before, like, the 60s TV show was great, Super Friends, and then, of course, you know, as I got a little bit older, Batman the Animated Series. Incredible writing and acting just across the board. I mean, it was an instant classic. There are only 3 Riddler episodes in all of the episodes of Batman Animated Series, because the writer said he was too difficult to write. I love that. So, we don't have a lot of him, but what we have is excellent. I also really enjoyed The Young Justice. I liked that. He was a little different, but I liked it. It still showed how arrogant and smart he tries to be, which is really great. Okay, Rick Waterslide Ramirez. What a cool nickname. That's awesome. It's hot here today, too, so water slide sounds good. What kind of bow does your pal Green Arrow use when he goes to cons? Did he have to unstring it for the convention, or has he been able to take it in as is? Green Arrow. I love Green Arrow. I don't get to wear him that much. The bow is, I got a youth compound bow, youth recurve bow, and I love it. I didn't have to restring it. I have taken it apart to paint it and all that, and I've used a couple of different stringing methods so that you can still have a good action pose, but that you're still safe for cons. But the thing besides the bow is that my arrows are all tipped with craft foam. And I took the arrow cradle off of the bow, so even if you attempted to launch something, it's not going to do it. I've seen a lot of people take in, like, real weapons, and I don't know how they get them past weapons check, but they seem to be pretty cool, so yeah. But yeah, it's always modifications on things like that, and it just looks better in pictures, too. Alright, Trina Quinzel. Do you have new cosplays planned for this year? Why, yes, I do. Just a couple of days ago, I announced, kind of rather cryptically, like I do. I don't know why I like doing the secret cosplay thing, but it's fun for me. It just seems kind of a Riddler-y thing to do, and he's always back there behind me. Literally. Okay, new cosplays planned for the year. Rorschach, I'm really excited about. I just kind of like that idea of having a little bit more anonymity and just walking through a con, and now that I've said it, I'll probably never have that anonymity, but that's okay. He's coming together. It's a lot of work with him for something so seemingly simple, and I already know that I'm going to work on a second version of him as well. I've got Star Wars things in the plans, hopefully before the debut of Episode 7. Episode 7! Star Wars nerd too. Yeah. We're excited. So yeah, at least those, and then, you know, my list is growing all the time. So I got a lot of cosplays in the mind. It's just the time to do them, and the time to really enjoy them. I don't like rushing through a project, so, okay. Next question. Jason Uriel. I hope I pronounced that right. Okay, Jason asks, what is your dream cosplay to do? The one you're thinking, I'm not yet talented enough to go for it just yet. There's a lot of them. But two come to mind. Speaking of Star Wars, that was great. I swear this was not planned. This was planned, however. Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto's the coolest. And good grief. I've done a Jedi cosplay before, but I mean, who wouldn't love to walk around like this? And then I look at it. 13 head tails and a lot of heavy things, and as cool as it looks, that's a lot of work to pull off legit and not look like a rubber mask. Now, people that wear the rubber masks and stuff, I think it's awesome. When I see you at cons, I geek out and I just love it too. For me, it's just the mask just for a little while is a little overwhelming, so a bit much for me. So generally when I look at those cosplays and costumes and I think, oh wow, that'd be so cool. And then it's like, how would I feel being in them for a day? Because cons are hot, and, you know, you want to scratch your nose and things like that. So with that, the second one that I want to do is fairly new. Fred from Big Hero 6. Who doesn't love Fred? He's awesome. I pulled off Tadashi because he doesn't cover his face. So, yeah. Those are on my dream list, but it's also like I'd have to have like a team of specialists working with me to not only get that done, but to handle me at cons, and there's enough people that try to handle me at cons. Anyway, we're moving along. Peter Jason Quill. Hi, Star-Lord. What storyline do you feel best represents the Riddler? There's a lot, but people are going to say a lot of things about the new 52. I'm one of them. However, I really enjoyed Zero Year. I think that was a great year of Riddler, and so smart. I loved the whole get smart or die idea, and it was very much classic Riddler, and I think that's one of the things that New 52 did right. Also, Hush, it's classic. You can't go wrong with Hush. I also really enjoyed Long Halloween. Not presented in the best light in that one, but man, I loves me that. Okay. It's nice to hear from Star-Lord. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Ambria Neuroth. Do you watch anime? And if you do, what's your favorite? I don't. I feel like I can only be a fan of so many things and still function as a human being. I really appreciate the look of the anime costumes when I see them, because, I mean, dude, that's some work. And I don't know how you guys pull that off sometimes, but it's really cool. When I was a kid, I really enjoyed watching Robotech. Especially the third generation of it, I guess, when they're all wearing motorcycle armor, and I thought that was really cool. And some of you anime fans are probably cringing at what I just said, and I'm sorry that I'm not up to date with it, but I think it's really cool, and I appreciate it when I see it. Okay. Ryan Nichols. He has 2 questions. It's in... Oh, okay. I see how it is. What is your favorite part of being a cosplayer, and how has cosplaying affected your life? My favorite part of being a cosplayer is the friends that I've met, and that may sound like such a cheesy answer, but it's really true, and I just really appreciate just the wonderful people that I've met, and that's rad. You know, when you're in a when you're a nerd, a dork, and you're into all this stuff, and it's really easy. We all have the same stories of being bullied, or not being appreciated, or being misunderstood a lot, and we all get that. And then you go to a place where you're appreciated for your craziness. That's pretty cool. And so that leads into how has it affected my life. The positivity. I mean, there's a lot of doors that it's opened that I would have never gotten otherwise. I've gotten to do some great things with some children's charities. I've gotten to do some great things with contests and being around other cosplayers and creativity. For really, as a theater producer as well, that's my real life. It's kind of opened up new channels of creativity and looking at how to solve those challenges in different ways, and I really, really appreciated that. It's a great hobby. I recommend it for everyone. Moving on. Carlos Velarde. Hi, Carlos. Here's a question. Why are you so awesome, my friend? Well, Carlos, you're awesome too. I really appreciate that. And honestly, I just try and reflect the coolness of the people around me. So if you think I'm awesome, that's because you're awesome, and I really appreciate that. I'm just trying to do me. It's hard enough. Okay, Ariel Switkiss. That's a cool name. Okay, if you were to do a female character, who would you do as cosplay? Okay. That's interesting. There's a few cool ones. One immediately comes to mind. It would be really interesting to do a gender bend version of Poison Ivy. Yeah, I can see that. That might have to go on the list. Okay. I would have handled it very differently. Alright. Caitlin Lopez. Are you going to Kamikaze? Yeah. If so, what's your lineup? Yeah. I have tickets. They're over there on my wall, which you can't see. That's my ticket wall. I am planning to go. And my lineup this year, because I've mentioned it, Rorschach. I've mentioned doing a new Star Wars. I hope to have that done in time to wear for that. And I may do an off day. I may have a just running around being me day. I think the first and only time I've ever done that was my first con that I ever went to. And I don't know that I've ever had a free day. I'll change my mind at the last minute. I'll do something. I might bust out a Riddler version. Because, yeah. But yeah, planning on Kamikaze. It's gonna be fun. If you haven't been to Kamikaze, go. It's awesome. Ashton Locke. Ashton asks, what is the most complex cosplay idea you ever had? I once wanted to cosplay 3 Ewoks standing on top of each other. Ashton, do that! That's incredible! That's amazing. I want to see that. The most complex idea I ever had, probably going back to Kit Fisto or Fred from Big Hero 6. That's some complicated stuff. I've had like concepts of things, but they're not necessarily complicated. It's just like different versions of what Riddler would do or all that. But this whole 3 Ewoks standing on top of each other thing, do that. I want to see that. And do it in the LA area so I can get a picture with it, because I love me some Ewoks. I love me some Ewoks. It's real and it's deep. Okay. Ruthie Marie Powers asks, I never do this mainly... Okay, no. I never do this mainly because I suck at questions. Okay. But, okay, so are you into Marvel or strictly DC? Okay. And if you like Marvel, who is your favorite Marvel character, and who would you ever consider cosplaying from Marvel? I no hate on the Marvel. Marvel's given us some great stories, and frankly, I'm loving their movies right now. I am much more of a DC fan, specifically Batman, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, and those are great. But Marvel, yes, I have considered cosplaying Marvel character, and one specifically being Nightcrawler, because dude's awesome. I have a dance background, and I would have, had I gotten into cosplay earlier, I probably would have attempted a Nightcrawler back then, especially in my much more limber, much more thinner dancey days. Yeah. There is a Marvel cosplay I'm working on, and I'm going to keep that a secret for now because I've taken a very complicated idea and decided to make it even more complex because I like punishing myself like that. But I'm hopeful that around this time next year, you'll be seeing me doing something from Marvel. It excites me. But yeah, it's a lot of hand leather tooling involved, and I'm trying to hone my skill level with that. Okay, moving on. But Marvel, we're cool. Now moving on. Becca Peterson. Becca asked, what is the weirdest thing you've done and the weirdest place you've done it while in costume? Yeah, have you ever been to a con? I think that pretty much explains it. Yeah, I want to hear your stories on what's the weirdest thing you've done in a costume. Devin Pierce asks, have you ever gone to conventions in character? Yeah, all the time. For me, part of cosplay is the play part. Being an actor as well, you've got to put the character act on. Now, excuse me, I think it's important, personally, if you're going to go to an event and you're interacting with people and they're asking for your pictures and things like that, of knowing how to balance character, especially a difficult character like Riddler, and how to balance that with being an actual approachable person that they're going to have an interesting interaction with. So it's that balance of being the character, but knowing when to turn it off just a little bit in order to deal with people, especially with kids. You know, I love when kids come up and want pictures, and their parents are so cool because they're raising them right. Thank you, parents of cool kids. And they say, "Oh, the Riddler's my favorite," and all that, and that's how they all talk. And I love that. It's so cool to see a 6-year-old saying that they love the Riddler because he's not so much out there in main culture right now, and so that's really, really cool. I've encountered a lot of cosplayers who stay in character all the time. It's a little intense, and so really I just think it's finding that balance, but if you're going to go to all the trouble to make the thing, it's a character you feel passionately about, and we're all creative people, so yeah, do the character bit, because it's awesome. There's only 2 left! Ah. Okay. Nicole Vanilla asks, what advice would you give to someone that's just starting to cosplay? Have fun. If it's not fun, don't do it. There's so many other things you could be doing with your time and your money and your resources. But cosplay is the best. It's so much fun. So my advice starting out, have fun. Now, practically, pick characters that you care about and that you definitely have a passion for, because if you're just picking something that's popular or just something that seems like, oh, I could pull that off or whatever, and there's nothing really wrong with that, but it takes so much time and effort to put into something like this that I think it really behooves you to pick something you're passionate about, because the interest will stay. You will care about what you're doing, and that will translate into the finished product when you're out walking a con or doing a shoot or something, that you care about what you're doing, as opposed to, I just put this on because it's trendy. I think it's hysterical that nerds have become trendy. It's kind of like, all the things I've always been picked on my entire life are now the very things that make me cool in the eyes of a lot of people. Have fun. That's my advice to cosplay first time and continue cosplaying. Last question, Tom Walsh. Okay, real question. That's what it says. Tom Walsh is going to ask a real question. What is it that inspires you into doing new cosplay designs, such as Long Halloween Riddler variant? Again, I think that's the passion. I mean, you see something that you care about, and it goes beyond the just, oh, that's cool. And it's like, I am so understanding this, and I'm so connected to what I'm seeing, or I have this idea because I know this character that this is something that I want to see them do. And that's what inspires me. Really great artwork, seeing what other people are doing. Not that I want to copy it, but I mean, other cosplayers is such a great inspiration. I don't look at it as a competition, ever. Cosplay is not a competition. I mean, there are contests you can go to, get judged for it, that kind of thing, and that's cool. I'm not a competition cosplayer. I'm just a dork in a costume. It's fun. But I think if you need to compete with anyone, I think you need to compete with yourself. Always strive to do a better job, or to do learn a new skill set, challenge yourself with your own abilities and techniques, because that's what's going to keep it awesome and fun for you, and it's going to keep it fresh for everyone watching you. And thank you, Tom Walsh. Well, as I said, that was the end of the questions. No more, nothing there in my hat. That's the back of the hat. There's the front. Oh gosh, I love this hat. I really do. And thank you, Tim Sale, for creating such a great version of Riddler. Anyway, thank you all for watching this incredibly long video. It's just under 23 minutes now, and that's 20 questions with Pieced Together Cosplay. If you have questions, ask me. Put them in the comment section below, whether this is Facebook or the YouTubes or whatever device you're going to see this on. And thanks for your time. And again, thank you for your interest in my wacky hobby. I don't take it lightly or for granted. You guys are awesome. And if you see me at a con or event, come up and say hi, and keep having fun. There goes the dog barking, so it's my time to go. Take care, everyone. Bye.